right, proportional reasoning. So remember, a proportion is an equation stating that two ratios are equal. So we have A over B is the same thing or equal to C over D, that when B is not 0 and D is not 0. So in other words, the bottom number of your fraction cannot be 0, okay? Do the ratios form a proportion? So remember, ratio is the same thing as saying fractions, equivalent to equivalent fractions. I need to figure out if these are a proportion. Remember, I want to know if these are equal. One way to determine that is if you take 2/10 and I reduce it. Well, I can reduce it to 1 over 5, and I also can reduce 5 over 25 over 1 over 5. And you notice you get the same fraction. So yes, these are proportions. Okay. The next one, 10 over 3 equals to 5/6. Well, let's think about this. 10 over 3 is an improper fraction. 5/6 is a proper fraction. You know that 10 over 3 is way bigger than 5/6. So these are not equal, okay? So these are not equal. Another way to figure this out, if you weren't sure, another strategy is you can actually do cross products. So 10 times 6, that would be 60. And then 5 times 3, that's 15. Well, 15 is not the same thing as 60, so they are not going to be equal. Those are not equal ratios. This one, okay, 3/7 and 5/12. Well, I can't reduce any of them, okay, either one. So again, I can actually figure out 3 times 12 is 36, but 5 times 7 is 35. So again, using those cross products, 35 is not the same thing as 36. So they're not equal ratios, okay? 2/6 and 5/15. Again, I can reduce both of them. 2/6 is equal to 1/3, okay? 5/15 is also 1/3. I get the same reduced fraction, so yes, they are proportional, okay? Even if you did cross products, well, 2 times 15, that gives me 30. 6 times 5, that also gives you 30. So even the cross products are equal. So writing and solving proportions. When writing a proportion from a word problem, be sure items are matched on both sides. So it's very important when you set up a proportion that the items match. Whatever's on top, you have the same thing on top as you do on the bottom, okay? It's very important to label your ratios. So for example, if you buy 3 shirts for $54, how many shirts can you buy for $162? Well, the first ratio is gonna be 3 to 54. So you got 54 on top, 3 shirts, okay? And then you wanna know how many shirts can you buy for 162. So you already know 162 goes on top. You don't know how many shirts. Okay, so you can figure out, well, 54 times what number gives me 162. And then whatever number that is, you multiply the same thing. So 54 times 3 is going to give you 162. How did I get 3? All I had to do is divide. 162 divided by 54 is 3. That's what I'm multiplying by, top and bottom. So 54 times 3 is 162. So 3 times 3 is going to be 9. So for $162, I can get 9 shirts. Okay, again, these are 2 equal ratios. Okay, let's take a look at an example number 2. There are 180 white lockers in the school. There are 3 white lockers for every 5 blue lockers. How many lockers are in the school? Okay, so let's take the first ratio. 3 white to every 5 blue. So we're going to do 3 white to 5 blue. Okay? So in this ratio, we need to figure out, do we know white or do we know blue? We know the white lockers, 180 white lockers. So we put 180 right here. Okay, we need to figure out blue. In order to figure out how many total, because that's what I'm asking, how many lockers are in the school, that is total. I need to know how many blue there are as well. So 3 times what number gives me 180? Well, 3 times 60 gives me 180. So 5 times 60 gives me That's going to be 300. There's 300 blue lockers. There's 180 white lockers. If I add them together, I want to know how many total in the school. So 180 plus 300 is going to give me, should give me 480 lockers total. Okay, 480 lockers. Let's take a look at example number 3. Okay, Jamie usually takes a 35 question quiz in 20 minutes. Okay, so here's my first ratio, 35 in 20 minutes. So we have questions, we're going to label questions to minutes. Same thing on the other side, questions and minutes, okay? First ratio is 35 over 20, okay? 35 over 20. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 35 over 20 here because you can actually reduce that ratio, okay? You can reduce it simpler. If the teacher reduces the quiz to 20 questions, how long will it take? Well, 20 questions are going to go up here, okay? Now, 35 times what number is 20? We don't know. That's going to be a hard number. That's going to be a decimal. So this is why I'm going to reduce this. So if I divide both top and bottom by 5, okay, and I'm going to get 7 over 4. Okay, let's eat a little easier. Now it's the same thing, but you can still use 35 over 20, but I'm going to let you know for every 7 questions how many minutes she's going to take. She's going to take 4 minutes, okay? Now I need to figure out what 7 times what number gives me 20. Well, you're going to have to divide that. So if you divide it with a calculator, so what's going to be 20 divided by 7 is 2.85. Okay, same thing if I do 35, hold on, I don't want that. So 20 divided by 7 will give me 2.85 or 2.88, okay? So I would have to multiply it. Well, 7 times 2.88 gives me about 20, okay? This is going to be a decimal. Keep in mind, it's going to go about 20. So I would have to multiply by the same number. So 7 times 2.88 is 20, multiplied by the same thing on the bottom. So then I multiply 4 times 2.88, and I get about 12 minutes, 11 and a half minutes. So we can just say 11 and a half minutes for that one. Now you can still use the 35. You can still do, but I think it's a little easier to work with if you work with a smaller number. So I just reduced it 7 over 4, and I did it that way. You're going to come up with the same answer if you left 35 and 20, but it's a little easier to work with a smaller number. Okay, example number 4. Braxton has cows and pigs in his barnyard. The ratio of cows to pigs is 2 to 3. If there are 100 animals in the barnyard, how many of each are there? Okay, now you're going to have to do, there's 2 things you got to figure out. You got to know the total number of pigs and the total number of cows. The first ratio you're given is 2 to 3. You notice that there are 100 total animals. So that I'm giving a total right here. I need to compare pigs or cows or pigs to the total. So let's go ahead and do cows. Cows to total number of animals, right? Cows to total number of animals. Okay, so this is kind of a total example. So cows, 2. Okay, so if there's 2 cows, well, how many animals are total? I just have to add the 2 plus the 3, which is what? 5. 2 plus 3, 2 pigs, or 2 cows and 3 pigs makes 5 total out of it. For every 2 cows, there's 5 total animals. So I need to know how many cows if I had 100. Okay, total animals. So again, what number do you multiply? 5 times what number gives me 100? 5 times 20 gives me 100. 2 times 20 gives me 40 cows. Now, I can easily figure out how many pigs I need. All I got to do is subtract 100 minus 40. Okay, that's all I got to do. 100 minus 40 cows gives me 60 pigs. Now, you can also do the pigs to total ratio if you wanted to. Okay, same thing. I'm going to go on the bottom here. So if you want to do pigs to total, you can do pigs. You should get 60. Okay, and then figure out cows. So pigs, we have 3, 5 total, 100. So 5 times 20 is 100. So 3 times 20 is 60, the same thing. You can do pigs too, but then you would have to minus 100 minus 60 will give me 40 cows. So either or. Okay? Okay, this is what I want you to try on your own. Example number 5 and example number 6. I'm going to help you set this one up, okay? So again, when you're setting up a proportion, okay, everything's got to match. So we're talking about cups of flour to rolls. So we're going to do cups to rolls, cups to rolls, okay? First ratio got 3 cups, 27. So 3 to 27. And how much flour is needed to make 9 rolls? So you know rolls, you need cups. So think about what you have to do to get 9. Same thing what you have to do up here, okay? Are you dividing or are you multiplying? How do you get there, okay? So you're finding this one. And then number 6, okay, again, you're going to set it up. Mandy runs 4 kilometers in 18 minutes. So you're comparing kilometers to minutes, kilometers to minutes, okay? So the first ratio is 4 to 18, okay? And we don't know, we need to know minutes, so we do know 15, okay? So this ratio is going to, 4 times what number gives me 15? So you're going to have to divide 15 divided by 4 to get that number you multiply. Whatever number you get multiplied is the same thing on the bottom to get the minutes, okay? So you go ahead and do 5 and 6 on your own. I already set you up for that. Make sure you get the missing part. And then these, again, these are going to be proportional reasoning. So proportional reasoning. So all you have to do right now is fill out this front side. The back side we're going to do in class, okay?